3, 2. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we doing, boys and girls? Oh, man. So, Dave is still gone. I'm going to get all this moved around, get this shared out. And sorry I'm a little late. Last night was rough. The kiddo was just all up in my business. So, got that. Now let me do the... Laura, good morning. How are we doing today? Let me get the chat popped out, and we'll get this set up. Chat scroll, properties. Okay, and chat is live. All right. So good morning. How are we doing today? And I believe I'm coming down with a touch of sickness somehow. Peachy Keen, Jelly Bean, yourself? Yeah. Last night was pretty rough. Little man was just all up in my business since like 3 o'clock in the morning. He hasn't been feeling good. We went trick-or-treating some places last night, and while it was fun and he had a blast, yeah, I'm exhausted today. That's just how it goes, you know? Yeah, I'm exhausted. I think I'm getting down like a touch of sickness or something. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm kind of congested, a little bit more nasally than usual. So Dave is still dead, and I don't have a replacement for him yet, which is a tragic shame. Like, it seriously is, though, because it just is. So right now, I'm actually looking at replacements and stuff for the Atom stack. It says it's a 40-watt laser, but it's really not. It's a 40-watt equivalent laser. Which is like a 5 to 5.5 watt laser. Still, it does very good. Let everything load in here. And yeah, it says it can cut like stainless steel and stuff, but it can't. It can engrave some stuff, but you got to be very careful with how you do things on it, with metals and stuff. But it is an amazing laser. It really is. Oh boy. But with this, I would like to get some other things. Sorry about Dave. Yeah, it sucks. It's depressing. Can't stay long. Have to leave early for work. Ooh, well, hello Ken, and thank you for showing up anyways. Any idea on his official cause of death? Not really. I think there was actually a failure in the gantry. I have stuff stacked on it, but when I try to move the gantry, I don't know if that was a cause of the fire or not. But when I try to move it back and forth, right where it caught fire, there was a clicking as I tried to move it. So I think he just got stuck there. Because the piece of wood wasn't taped down or anything, and I've had pieces of stuff where it lifted up and caught in the shroud, and that just ended up dragging the stuff all around. So yeah, I don't think that was the particular issue, it getting caught, because it would just drag the thing around and keep functioning normally. I've had that happen with a couple pieces of wood. I've had that happen with a piece of leather. It sucks, but sometimes that just happens. So I think it was an actual failure in the unit itself. But I think next time what I'll end up doing is just removing the shroud around it altogether, just to eliminate that. That gives me another like ½ inch just of safety measures. Because I don't see that acrylic thing that's at the bottom that actually melted first was to protect the eyes anyway. So I have the shroud, so I don't really need that on there. So ideally, I'd like to also eventually get the rotary cutter. They do have an extension bed for it, but I think that's going to be something that happens way down the line if I get another one of these, instead of down the line getting just a bigger, different laser. And then there's an air assist. I do want to get an air assist. But there's so much you can do with this thing. So yeah, I think it was just a mechanical glitch that caused it to freeze and then just start burning and cutting everything underneath it, which caused it to catch fire. But the shroud did its job. It kept the fire contained, which I have a sound dampening material above it, which is like a foam, which that could have caught fire, then the whole house would have gone up. And the smoke removal system I have did a fantastic job too, because when I walked downstairs it didn't smell like burnt plastic or anything. So scary, but could have been way worse. I mean, ideally I'd like to get a much better laser, but the next jump up, like Dave here was like a $300 laser, but the next jump up is like in the $1,000 range, so like $1,200 range. So it gets pricier, gets much pricier. Today I'm having some Green Mountain coffee, the maple sugar. It's pretty good. So, yeah. I had such good results with this that I will definitely be getting another one to start off with. And I want to also get into doing art with it. Time to go. Peace out. All right, Ken, stay safe. And I saw your pictures from that crash, and that was nuts. That crash in Sugar Notch. I hope everyone made it out all right, but it looked pretty bad. How do people crash in Sugar Notch, though? Because like it's a simple, straightforward road, you know. And you're only supposed to be going 25 miles an hour. So, like, how do you flip a car? You have to be a major idiot to do that, or have a major malfunction. So, yeah, definitely have to get another one. I think the first upgrade that I'm going to do is get a first upgrade will be to get a new shroud for it, or build a new shroud for it. And I learned a lot on this. doing this one with this setup. So next one I'm going to do is going to be way better, because that's always the case. I need better tighter joints on on everything. So it's sucking all the smoke, not just random air from all the different cracks. But again, first time doing it, so I'm not too upset. But yeah, there's some stuff that needs to happen, some adjustments that need to be made, which is a shame, but that's part of life, I do need to raise the funds to get another one, though. I don't just have that kind of or be majorly talented at car flipping. Yeah, that could be it too. So yeah, gotta get another Dave. I have projects lined up for him, so I need to get one soon so I could start making money again. But for something that started out as just a novelty, ooh, I got a new toy, it definitely became very integral into my workflow. And there's a lot of woodworking projects. There's one woodworking project that I need it for, specifically one that is, or two that I need it for, but one woodworking project, which is a coffee table that I'm in the process of finished designing. And yeah, it's actually really cool. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas themed coffee table. It has to like open up and do stuff like that. And they want all the Nightmare Before Christmas creatures laser engraved into all of the panels. So it's kind of a necessity to have a laser engraver for that. So yeah. Yeah. So good morning, Mick. So it's definitely a necessity to get one. Like I said, I need to raise the funds for it. Because I just don't have like $300 just lying around. And then build the new enclosure. But I mean, I learned so much, so it's tragic, but it's not the end of the world. And I have some leather projects that require laser engraver also. So it's like, oh, also, last week I ran the test. I got some of that white leather that I talked about, and it took the black dye perfectly. So it's that heavier weight upholstery leather, but it's still chrome tan, so it'll do that bunching good. It'll bunch real nice. So yeah, once I get Dave working again, I got the leather for it. That'll be a nice, easy project. I need to find out if I can get that. If I should engrave it first and then dye it, or vice versa. I don't like engraving chrome tan leather though, because it off-gases a lot of VOCs on there, which are very not good for the health. But I mean, I have the smoke removal system, but still, it's best to engrave undyed veg tan leather, just for health and safety and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm going to. Actually, no. I wouldn't even be engraving the chrome tan. I'd be engraving the veg tan part that is the snap closure, so that doesn't even matter. Never mind. Getting ahead of myself. I'm also just starting to wake up. Last night was a rough night. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, taking the little one out again tonight, trick or treating. I took him out last night, and he got an obscene amount of candy. I missed the first thing I was going to take him to, so I ended up taking him to this place that had a hayride, and hayride was long, but it was kind of boring. But we went through like a cow pasture, which was kind of cool. The cows were like right up next to the thing. And then I found this other place which was supposed to have pony rides and petting zoos and everything else. And I mean, it was like a half-hour drive, but it was like, a couple hours until the next one started. Yes, I know, I'm getting to that. So, we drove down there, and it was really cool. There's some rides for him. It was I give the place like a solid 4 out of 10 because of how they portrayed themselves. If they were more accurate in the portrayal, it probably would have been better. But he got to go on all these rides. There was a big air cannon that he got to shoot apples out of that stuff, and he thought that was just awesome. Jump pad for kids, and stupid stuff like that. And yeah, there was goats. There was a goat petting zoo. What kind of costume did he have? He had the ghost spider costume, which is a lycra costume that makes him look like Ghost Spider. Apparently he was morose that putting on the costume didn't turn him into Ghost Spidey. Which, I mean, he's 3, so kind of got to roll with those punches. But he thought like putting on these costumes made you these people. No, just an imagination. You can't fly, you can't shoot. Can't shoot webs or anything. Sorry, bud. But yeah, so he got to play with some goats and go through obstacle courses and go on some rides, and that ate up enough time for us to get to where all the other trick-or-treating spots opened, which, like, I was kind of terrified because I thought, like, because on the way back from that farm going to the stuff, it was pouring rain, so I thought it was going to rain the entire time. And no, it was actually rather nice. And it didn't get chilly till like 8 o'clock at night, which is pretty good. But this weather has me terrified because of how hot and warm it is outside, and that is not how it should be. Like, I remember trick-or-treating with several inches of snow. How long until a mask came off? 0. It made it on him, and he immediately took it off. Did not like it, did not want to wear it. Yeah, did not want to wear it at all. Which, whatever. Yeah, mask came right off, so what are you gonna do? So yeah, just a lot of fun. He got a lot of candy. Eileen, good morning. How are we doing today, Eileen? But I was not warned about how difficult it was going to be to change a diaper for a hyped up 3-year-old who is in a skin tight lycra costume. That was interesting. Got it done, but that was interesting. Eileen, well, I'm doing good, except her head episode with the cops last night, and this is more of a story for the doc side. That's besides the point. Well, sounds like we need to have a phone call then. So, yeah. But it's good of you to join us anyways. Booty call gone good until they knocked on the window. Interesting. So yeah, I had my Link costume on last night. Does the dark side have cookies? Yes. Dark side has cookies. Bad side is half of them are raisin. Oatmeal raisin. The other half, though, the other half is the good cookies. Good luck, seeing which is which. I was trying to find my cloak last night, but I could not. It was to no avail. I'm going to try and find it today so I can get that sewn back up. I need answers, right? But I was trying to I want to get that sewn back up so I could wear that tonight so I don't look as ridiculous as I do wearing a bright green, cheap Link costume. But I actually do want to make that Link costume like real, so I can dress like the real Link. But that would mean getting my chainmail, making Mandrill out, and that will be a whole thing. And maybe I'll do that as a series, like making Link's costume. I'd start, I'd do the boots, I do the spandex leggings type thing, do the linen shirt, do the chainmail, make the tunic and the hat, make all the stuff. Which version of Link? That is a great question, because there are several different versions. Now, I'm particular to the Ocarina of Time Link. Because in my brain, and that's just because of my age, that's the first time I was really, really introduced to him. That's the Link for me. But then, I'd make the Master Shield, the belt, the item pouches. I'd go the full 12, full 9 yards, whole 9 yards. I'd make the Master Sword, I'd make the shield and everything. Like, I'd make everything, and I'd make it real. Which I probably will anyways. Ooh, that hurt. But I think it'd be nice to make it real too. Have the gauntlets and everything, start to finish. For me, the hardest part would actually be making the gauntlets. That's something I haven't quite mastered yet. It's doing gloves and stuff. But there are a ton of different versions and variations and stuff I can go on. And I don't think it'd be as difficult as some people are, as people would think it would be. I mean, the most intensive part would be making the chainmail Hubric. The shirt, chainmail shirt. Everything else though is pretty straightforward. Try the belt and the belt, super straightforward. The boots are pretty straightforward. Yeah, I kind of got the whole making shoes thing kind of nailed down. Pretty happy with that. The next most challenging part would actually be the tunic, because his tunic has kind of like a collar to it that gets laid down, which I'm not sure how to do collars and stuff yet. So that would be the next most difficult part. And then obviously the gauntlets, which if I want to cheat, I can do them fingerless. Which I think in game his are fingerless anyways. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, his I think are fingerless. Yeah, they are fingerless. So you know that might not be so difficult, and that would be a good first step into getting into making gauntlets and gloves and stuff, doing fingerless gloves. So maybe this is a good long-term project, you know, a good year-long project to get me started on things. Let's see. Why do you hurt me with unhappy cookies? That's part of the dark side. It just is. Ocarina of Time, good choice. I love the Twilight Princess Link. Force outfit. I mean, that's not a bad one. Bless you. Thank you. Specifically the outfit you unlock in Tears of the Kingdom. Haven't played it. The last one I played was Twilight Princess. Favorite Link is Wind Waker, though. Yeah, I haven't played Wind Waker. One massive downside, Link is a babyface. Yeah, I don't have the babyface for that. I'd have to do like, you know, almost post. I'd have to do post Ocarina of Time, adult timeline Link, because I'm not gonna get rid of the beard. However, that means I'm going to, you know, be basically Dad Link after him and the princess hook up and have a child. And I think the lore is in Twilight Princess, the revenant that teaches you is dead Link from Ocarina of Time in the adult timeline. You know, after he'd grown up, had kids, and stayed a warrior. You know, and did the whole thing, and then eventually died. I'm like 20 seconds behind. Everything on this thing is about 20 seconds behind. It just is. Dad Link, I love it. In Tears of the Kingdom, he actually does own a house with Zelda. Oh, so there you go. Let's see, check that one out. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I don't think my hair will be quite long enough yet. Looks like his is much further down. No, actually, my hair's already pretty much at that length. Is it? Yeah, his is a little bit further along, but if I do it next year, I'll be able to get all that done. Let's see. He has a hood, which is actually, that's not a hood, that's a coif. That's interesting. He doesn't have the little sock hat type thing. Interesting. Interesting. I do not have the body to pull off some of these outfits, though. Perhaps by next year I might. I have been losing weight and getting into better shape. Another long-term project I am looking at possibly doing. Oh, he also lost an arm. Fascinating. Now that could be something I can do. You know, possibly shave my arm, coat it with UV reactive things, and then have that contraption that's around his the bronze pieces, have that with black light bandwidth electric luminescence wire, so that when I do the thing, it would light the whole arm up, the skin up, and not just a surface thing, but actually like a luminescence type thing. That could be interesting. Or I could just remove my arm about here. I think he has it about mid bicep. If I really wanted to go all in on that. But then that kind of limits my cosplay stuff in the future. Yeah, I could do that. But I think you just want to see me running around in the wild shirtless. No, that whole thing that he has there, the knight's costume, is really nice, actually. There's the arm. Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, I could, 3D print that or whatever, but yeah. What was my favorite video game growing up? I'd say there's two. It was Link Ocarina of Time was definitely the first. And I would just play that game over and over and over again. The next one, which I would also play over and over and over again, was Star Wars Dark Forces 2. And I had that for the computer. And I played every possible scenario in that game, including with cheat codes and everything else. So those were definitely my two favorite games growing up. And no matter what game had my current hyper focus, I was always going back to those two games. Even when I got really down the StarCraft and the Warcraft holes, which I never got into I never got into World of Warcraft. I never really saw the appeal of the Memorbicas, but the actual games themselves, I love those games, but I still would always revert back to Ocarina of Time, and in fact, I'm considering even, fixing my Nintendo 64 and playing Ocarina of Time again, because it just had such a great story, and it felt, as bad as the graphics and everything were, it just was amazing. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so it was those two games. There's actually an option in game to put the hood coif down as an unlock later in the game that you earn it. Interesting. That sounds like an amazing idea. It could be. I still want to do the Angel of Death costume, which, I've been doing a lot of thinking about that itself. I have the mask around somewhere. But there's still a lot of steps to go until I can get to that point. But I do want to do that one still, too. It sounds cool. Well, that's not a bad idea either. Yeah, of course not. And they have an Ocarina of Time available on Switch, I believe. Well, I don't have a Switch. So, there's that. But yeah, so those are some long-term projects I want to do. Yeah. But I mean, I definitely want to. I want to do a realistic Link. I do have the hair for it now. I mean, he is blonde-haired, but if I start swimming and stuff, my hair will lighten up, and then I could have that wonderful blonde hair I did in high school. Because I have a dark, dirty blonde now. It's almost brown. Actually, unless you see it in the right light, it looks brown now. But if I go and start swimming again, which if I want to get that physique, I'm gonna have to start swimming again anyways. And depending on my mood, my eyes do turn almost that shade of blue. A darker shade, but pretty much that blue. So I could pull it off. And that would also be a great excuse for me to go walking around with a big sword on my back. I would just have to have it so that any yokel can't just pull the blade. So I need to find a latch mechanism. Like a hidden latch mechanism at that. But I can definitely do it. I can figure that out. And I do, after I get a couple projects in the shop done, I do want to step back and do a few exhibition projects, which may or may not make me any money. However, they would showcase my skills, which I think in the long run will make me money. And one of them is making a master sword. And I think just doing some exhibition projects would be good for my own mental health anyways, just to get me out of a artistic and creative funk. And that would just be a fun series for me to do on YouTube anyways. You know? And I need to start shooting videos and doing YouTube stuff again anyways. So, yeah. I think I can pull that off. Can you play the ocarina? Yes, I can. I'm not super good at it, and I actually have a sweet potato ocarina from Ocarina of Time. But it is the officially licensed product, I believe. But it is... No, is it? No, I think it was a knockoff. Anyways. Ain't no yokels in NEPA. Yeah, there are. It's almost exclusively yokels. but it is horribly out of tune. There's actually this STL ocarinas. I believe they make amazing ocarinas. Yeah, STL ocarina. And this lady's stuff is amazing. And she actually has classes and stuff on how to play them. But because they're all handmade and everything else, she charges for it. But if you want to listen to somebody playing ocarina that's just amazing, any of her stuff on YouTube is fantastic. And she seems just like a really great person, just in general. So there's a million different ocarinas she has for sale, like different versions. Things are from themed to different genres and games and stuff. And she has elemental ones. There's wooden ones, which I have no idea how they do wooden ocarinas. I guess it's like a two-part thing where whatever. But yeah, they're fantastic. Breath of the Wilderness. The Ocarina of Your Dreams. This one is $90. But pitch range, they have pitch ranges and everything available from A4 to F6. So like they tell you what the tune of the ocarina is. Like here's another one down here. 12-hole tenor ocarina in F major, 2,500. 12-hole ocarina, B major by Chin Ching, 2,700. So like these are legit ocarinas, not just like the 12-hole tenor ocarina with the Zelda songbook, so it teaches you how to do all the stuff. $65. I mean, it's not super expensive, most of them. Some of them are really pricey though. But yeah, it tells you how to do all the things, and she teaches you how to do all the things. So, really great lady. I actually bought some. Once upon a time, I actually bought some music from her. Very easy, very good to, very easy to follow, and very well done. And not just made to be pretty, but actual music instruments. Yes, those are legit musical instruments. So of course they're going to be more expensive than what you can find, at the local stores and stuff. Though surprisingly, most of the ocarinas, when Sojourners was still a store in the Steamtown Mall, their ocarinas actually were all in pitch. So there's two main classifications of ocarina. You have the sweet potato and the potato. Sweet potato is the one from Zelda. So it has the main body and then that offshoot that you blow into. And you hold it kind of sideways like a flute. Potato ocarinas are, well, they're shaped like potato. They're just a round thing. Basically round. And you play them forward. And they usually only have 8 holes. 8 holes? Yeah. 3 on top and then 2 on the bottom. Where sweet potatoes have anywhere between 8 and 15. Usually 12 holes. So, differences. But the ones down there were like $2 to $5, if I remember right, and they were all in pitch. All a different pitch, so you'd have to figure out which one you wanted, and they weren't marked, but they were all in pitch. And I carried one of those around for, I think I always had a potato ocarina on me from the time I started high school until a year or two after college. I would always have one on me. And I had this leather vest that I cut the lining out of, so I could, or leather jacket that I cut the pocket lining out of, and I made the whole thing into just basically giant pockets. And I could just, root around there and find stuff. And I always had a potato ocarina on me. In one of those, I had food, I had knives, I had medical equipment, I had extra money, and I had a potato ocarina. It was a very interesting party trick. You feel, hold on a second. Do the thing. And people would always be confused. Hey, I got a cut here. Oh, yeah. There's the bandage. There's that. It was fun. And people were always like freaked out by how heavy my jacket was. I'm like, well, yeah, because it's not just a jacket. It's also like a backpack and a jacket. But yeah, so there's that. Interesting. I forgot about that. But yeah, so I had always had just a ton of crap on me. And one of those things was a potato ocarina. Did not sleep almost at all last night. But if you plant one, will you grow more? We have to ask the real questions. No. I wish. Though you can make a potato ocarina out of an actual potato. You can. It is possible. I've seen people do it. So yeah, it is a possibility, technically speaking. And then once you're done, you can plant it, and it will still grow. Because potatoes are weird. Because you can chop them up, throw them in the ground, and you turn one potato into 12. And each one of those 12 potatoes will grow and then produce, between 3 and 12 potatoes themselves. Potatoes are weird vegetables. They're not actually vegetables, they're tubers, they're starchers, they're roots. I shall make beautiful music with you then, and then I shall eat ye. Yep. So basically you have to have a mouthpiece that you can focus. But then you carve out the hole for the mouthpiece, and that's where you remove the bulk of your material. I've seen people do it. You have to have kind of like somewhere between a knife and a spoon, so you can get in there and carve it all out. Then you just pop your holes in, pop your bottom piece, and pop your focuser back in, and there you go. So it is possible. I actually saw someone make a flute out of a carrot. And a bag of tricks. Yeah, that's pretty much what my jacket was, my coat was. So I had this I pretty much looked like this in high school. Red beard, resting bitch face, all dark clothes, big black leather coat. And then I just pull out an ocarina and start playing. Why not? And I'd walk around with like flowers in my hair sometimes, just to make things a little bit more interesting. Because you got to keep it weird. Life is too short not to be weird. Life is way too short not to be weird. Don't follow normal traditions. Don't follow what people expect from you. Carve your own path. Life is too short. Find whatever happiness you can, however you can, wherever you can. All this talk of Zelda and Ocarina, I didn't even realize. I didn't even know we'd get to this point. That's basically the symbol for the Kokori people. And then you can plant the potato and grow more. Rakatangos. It's a different word. SP. Yeah, that is not even close to an ocarina. Let's see, ocarina is spelled Ocarina. You just made up some very interesting words. Whew. I am very congested today. I think we're going to go take some medicine. Hopefully knock some of this down so that I don't sound like the Crypt Keeper later when I'm taking Little Man out on his next foray into the wild of Halloween festivities. But this is my hour. If you guys like this stuff, if you like this my ramblings, and you want to support me, you want to help me build up some money so I can go get Dave 2. I'll probably have another naming contest. Crypt Keeper would be a badass costume. Yes, it would. Probably have another naming contest to rename the new laser. Go over to patreon.com/Knightsmith. Even $1 a month helps. Because I definitely want to get Dave a new laser cutter. But I am going to be doing some special stuff over there just for patrons, where I'm going to be making basically a super reinforced high-tech apron designed with metal workers and woodworkers in mind. So that's definitely going to be something that if you're into that, go over there. $1 a month gets you in the door, and the higher the tier, I'm going to be sending out swatches and test samples and stuff to people to mess around with. And I have a few other things that I'm going to be doing over there over the next few months as well. Follow me on here, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that happy jazz. I'm on TikTok, and of course there's the Facebook group that has the most, is most regularly updated. So all that stuff. And I have to say this all the time. But I do actually care about all these things. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time, and I'll see y'all next week.